It shows that we're.
Yay!
We're live. I think I'm not glitching or glitching out. I don't know. This might be a little better. We'll see.
We need to get the banners in here to set the tone properly. Hold on a second. There we go. Not financial advisors, and I think we'll let that roll throughout the bottom. Yeah.
Oh, we should also put up the other. Well, we'll get there. We will get there.
Working on it.
Yep.
Little by little. So, again, we're broadcasting or live directly on YouTube, but we're also live on Twitter, and we are also live on Odyssey. If you guys haven't checked out Odyssey yet and you're in the crypto space, you need to get on that and check out Odyssey. It's a pretty cool platform, definitely geared for crypto enthusiasts, whether you're trying to support your favorite YouTuber or content creator, or you're just sharing out the love and tipping, random creators that are out there. So it's a pretty cool little platform. We've been playing with it a little bit, so we'll see how it rolls out. This will probably be our last live stream before the holidays, right? Because tomorrow's Christmas Eve, isn't it? What's today? I don't even know what today is.
Honestly, I don't think that we'll have another live stream until probably second week maybe of January, maybe the first week. I don't know. It depends on what me and John come up with as we're doing our stuff with the family through the holidays. I did put I didn't put that in Discord, actually.
Next one.
So, yeah,
Drop the ball.
I know. So let me go to our chat real quick. I didn't put like our little agenda thing like really in order of how we want to do it. So do you mind if we just kind of skim over the mine update real quick and then we can roll into all the bulky stuff?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, because we're already on that topic, so I figured, right? Yeah, so future plans for the mine, as me and John just said, you're probably not going to have another stream mid-January maybe. That being said, announcing our big plans, what we're working on, more power, all the juicy stuff that we've kind of been vaguely alluding to over the last streams and kind of just with some of the messages we send out to our hosts and things like that. We are going to announce it. It seems like we may have it locked down mid-January. So that is when, crossing our fingers, just putting it out there. We're trying to have the universe provide what we need. We'll go over more, as that kind of sets itself up. At some point, we'll probably do a video, just like a tour of everything and how it looks and kind of some of the things we have in the works. We really want to lock down a lot of it before we really announce it, because we're going from baby steps that we were utilizing in like our last location to little bigger steps now in our current location, but realizing the true need that we have. This is really taking like leaps. So we're just trying to do our due diligence. And once that due diligence is done, we announce and we let everybody know, hey, this is what's going on and what it looks like for everybody. Those hosting with us, new with us, giving you guys the insight as we document our journey of scaling a crypto mine, which is always fun.
Yeah, I think we can talk a little bit about some of the things that we're doing to try to secure moving forward. Um, reaching out and talking to power brokers, talking to renewable energy specialists. We talked about the best system in our last live stream. We're also doing load tests on the grid because when you talk about putting on major power and consuming major megawatts, you have to not just only test your setup, but you have to test the grid because you're pulling from a regional or national grid that you have to make sure that can support your needs and your requirements. So these are things that we've been pulling and doing and testing and talking to, whether it be local municipalities or talking to power brokers that deal with large farms across the country. Making sure that we definitely cross our T's and dot our I's, like Mark is saying. But we'll go into more details about this and kind of give you guys the 411 on what's been happening for us and why we're doing the things that we're doing. Um, we started this channel. We started Coastal Crypto. Mark and I started, garage miners, stepping it up, and now we're having bigger conversations and more expensive conversations as we are trying to upgrade our farm. And that's really what it comes down to: is these conversations that we're having are expensive. And you never thought you'd think about a conversation being worth anything, but that's what's coming down to, because a simple conversation could save us tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, depending on who we talk to and who we kind of rub elbows with to make sure we keep happy and we're not getting our farm shut down or power cut off, or making sure we have transformers on standby when we blow a transformer. But that's what Mark and I have been doing behind the scenes, is really trying to step up the game here and make sure that we can make Coastal Crypto stand the test of time, and then last, pushing everything forward and making everything better for not just the company, but for you guys, the clients and the hosts. So
yes, exactly. And I mean, not just the host, like just showing this information too. Like, no one told us, like, when you go to get a job, right? And you're applying it somewhere new, and you realize that there's a elephant in the room with that new job, and the elephant typically is it's more about who you know versus what you know, and it's no different here in the crypto scene, especially when you're really trying to scale. Because it appears, based on just conversations we are having with other individuals that are a few steps ahead of us, if not, giant steps ahead of us. It does come down to, who do you know? Who are you, rubbing your elbows with and greasing the wheels on to get, a favorable solution for you. And we're really realizing that in its entirety. But yeah, so more to come with the mine. Probably not another update for a month or a couple weeks at least.
It will be a large live stream. Will be some big news going on.
Yeah.
Lots of things underway right now as we speak. With pokers in the fire type of scenario. So hopefully by our next live stream, we'll be able to divulge our plans and our schemes that we've been working on.
and those that are hosting with us, obviously you've seen some emails, kind of us giving some updates, and we've texted or spoken to some of you individually. When we bring this announcement to the table, this should really lay out the plans to getting us back to 100% across the board, plus some. Obviously, we're looking, more power, and we're not looking to tap that power out immediately. So just thanks for your patience. Keep chugging along with the good fight with us.
Keep on.
Yeah, exactly. and we'll we'll provide more updates as we get closer. Obviously, we've been a little bit more transparent with you guys, just giving, what we expect time frame wise. So time frame hasn't changed. We're working on getting everything going. So Gandalf, we will answer your question here as we get into the next item that we want to talk about, which is the Black Miner L1. So obviously we've made mention of it. We've kind of given some insight. We've done some videos on the YouTube channel about John has done some videos on the YouTube channel about it and what he's done. And we discovered, some people were chatting on the video in the comment section, just kind of giving some insight of their experience. And so we started testing some of that stuff.
Yep.
So we wanted to kind of just go over it and talk to you a little bit about what we found out and efficiency, which will lead us into Gandalf's question as we finish up with the L1.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't watched the video yet, I'll tag it in the chat below right now, just for everyone to see. We had a subscriber reach out and post some comments on the L1 on our latest review that we did, the teardown review. I went ahead and translated some of them and went ahead and applied some of those settings to the L1 that we have. And they worked fairly well. I mean, we did see some higher than usual hardware errors, but that's to be expected when you're changing some of the frequencies around and the voltage. Usually those hardware errors kind of peak and then they kind of stable off and you don't really see any more being added on to it. So we saw a lot right at the beginning as the chips were kind of dialing into this 500 megahertz frequency that this gentleman recommended. And he had the voltage set down to 1230. So we were getting that 300 mega hash that he was suggesting that it was possible. We confirmed that it was possible. And then I went ahead and checked the amperage between the bus bars. So, if you aren't familiar with the L1s and you guys didn't have a chance to really go through the video, the L1 has an attached PSU and it uses bus bars to give power to the hash boards. So I went ahead and touched off on the bus bars, which if you're not familiar with electricity, be careful doing this. They are live when I'm testing them. But I was able to get some interesting readings and doing some simple math. We're getting around, I think, 2,800 watts roughly, topping out at like 3,150 at 3 mega hash. So I tried to test it the best I could a couple different times, couple different, spaces and period of time. What I'm doing is I'm taking that amperage and I'm multiplying it by our current voltage to get the wattage that's going through those bus bars. So that's how I'm calculating here with what we got going on. But it was definitely some interesting numbers. And we know that these things are overclockable and undertunable now. So I'm curious to see what's next for these miners moving forward.
Yeah. So lesson learned here through some of the information that we've delved through with the L1 is we can get over 5 gigahash on it. We know that we've overclocked it. We can definitely 5300 is very achievable. I think as we figure out tuning a little bit more, we probably could get closer to 6. We just have to really dive in and do some major tuning on the actual, or if there's some firmware, hint Hive, that possibly could happen, we can get up there. And then, like John said, 3 gigahash at roughly 28 to 3200 watts, just depending on its frequency going up and down. And we've only done a little testing, so I think that this guy can be more efficient, and it's pretty promising in the long run. Now on to Gandalf's amazing question. This seems to be, thanks to Rabid Mining, a hot topic right now. So LTC had their convention, or Litecoin had their convention and things like that. Script miners and talking about whatever they talk about over, I don't know, It's conventions for me. It seems just like a huge waste of time other than networking. So what do you think about the local tech hash blades script miners? So my first thought is the last time a hash blade was presented to the audience of script miners, not script miners, just miners in general, trying to compete with ASICs. It failed miserably. I can't remember the actual coin that they were trying to get on. It could have been Bitcoin, but I'm not 100%. But I know that still hash blades are not, they're not mainstream. Sorry. This looks, I watched the presentation. We've signed up for the pre-sale. So we're trying to figure out how we could fit in the fold with how these launch, if they launch. And that's really the question, right? So in my eyes, the way the guy described this, using 12 nanometer chips, the L7s for reference, they use 9 nanometers, if I'm not wrong, or correct, 7 or 9, right?
So the current ASICs are using 7.
7, yeah.
And then they were boasting 12 nanometer. So
Okay. So obviously, I'm just pulling this off of memory, but just from when I watched the video or his presentation, I should say. You're trying to put 9 gigahash. I mean, obviously, you can do lower at better efficiencies, which I think that's really where it's going to be. It's going to make its money, but you can get up to 9. I think even 14 at some point with multiple or something along those lines.
that's crazy.
In the size of a graphics card, and then putting it into a machine, it literally is like an FPGA, and we already know, talking about FPGAs with Caspa and things like that, FPGAs are not mainstream. There are some developers that will, you get a bit stream, and then you hook up your FPGA and start mining, things like that. There's dev fees involved. And in this case, this dev fee seems high in comparison to others that we've seen with bit streams. Now, obviously, there's ways around that. Everybody knows that there's some kind of sketchy way you can get around a dev fee, because it's been done, especially on like current, big firmwares that are out there right now.
And private firmwares too.
Yeah, exactly. So my thought on it is, if it launches and it's successful, it's going to really hinder what's currently out there. But at the same time, having a conversation with someone else at one point, it's like, if this was a legit thing coming out, one, why isn't Bitmain doing it? Like, if this company can get access to those chips, so can Bitmain. So I would assume that Bitmain would get basically.
Yeah, they looked over for some reason. Why did they look past it?
Yeah. And then secondly, if this is legit and it's going to be competing with Bitmain's flagship for the time being of script miners, which is the L7, why is Bitmain not buying them out? Now, I'm not saying that they're not for sale, but everything is for sale for a price. So it's, I'm just skeptical in reality. You come up on stage, you talk about what you're doing, but he didn't show a product. He showed what like the hell are they called? Something point.
A PowerPoint?
Yeah, PowerPoint presentation. There we go. I can't even think right now. He showed a PowerPoint presentation. So it's, yeah, that's my thought. That's my 2 cents. What about you, John?
It's tough. I mean, to be the small guy, to be a small company, Locotech isn't a small company. They're a growing company, right? But to throw your hat in the ring when it comes to ASICs, we know from doing our own digging and our own research that a lot of the ASICs that are out there, whether it be Gold Shell, Black Miner's new machine, the L1, or Ant Miners, they all come out of the same proximity of each other within the same block. So they all know what the other person, the other company is doing, and they're working well together to a certain point. Now we're going to throw this guy into the loop. I'm curious. I want to see it come out. I want to see it succeed. It'd be interesting to have another avenue to go down, other than ASICs, like you said. They're more FGPA kind of setups. I'd love to be able to play with it, tune it, and take it apart. Just to don't know if they're going to be as efficient as this guy says they're going to be, especially because they're using larger chips. But Bitmain could also not be worried about it, because from our other talkings that we've had with people who shall not be named at this time, we know that there's private firmwares out there that are only being deployed at large farms. And I'm talking multi-megawatt farms that these guys are going out, and it's $90 a machine, and it's not a firmware that you can download online and up. No, they have to come out and program these firmwares into each and every machine for $90 a pop across 120 machines for 1 megawatt, right? So it's not cheap when you're talking about larger scales. It's cheap when it comes down to one individual unit, sure. But these guys aren't wasting their time flying out to, Joe Schmo's garage to tune his L7. They're going out to the big farms. So either Bitmain knows that kind of stuff is going on, and they're just letting it ride because they know that their stuff can be overclocked using this private proprietary firmware, and it's no sweat off their back, and they're going to let this guy kind of do whatever he wants. Who knows? 2023 is going to be an interesting year for cryptocurrency, not just because of the bear market that we've seen and all the other stuff that's been going on, but because we're in that realm. 2023 is the year where technology, if we're looking at Moore's law, 2023 is when things are supposed to be really changing. And if you're looking at that whole expanded time frame using Moore's law, technology advances and doubles every couple of years. 2023 is one of those key years that we could see a lot of things double, or shrink in size rather. So it's going to be interesting. I think we're going to see a lot of big players step up to be in the crypto mining space. So
another thing to take in consideration too. So this company, say everything goes off without a hitch, and all of a sudden we have the most efficient script miner on the market to date, right? They are then taking money from Bitmain. And just to give an example of how cutthroat Bitmain is, okay, I just want to put this out here. Bitmain has a program where you can actually get certified to to fix their machines, right? So you can buy parts you get this certification, you can buy parts from them, and then at that point, you can get the wholesale price of these parts and fix machines, and you can tout, I'm Bitmain certified. Like, you get this little certificate from them, and it's amazing. And up until just recently, this certification could be obtained from literally only anybody that paid for the course through Bitmain. You could do it on Zoom. You can do all these, whatever. You can get trained by a guy here in the U.S. by the name of Austin Childress. He is one of probably the go-to guys for the big minds when it comes to Bitmain certification for teaching companies like Foundry, Riot, things like that. I'm probably smoking on a couple of those companies, but I'm pretty sure he has some influence within them for maintaining machines or getting certification of them. Well, he has an in to Bitmain because he's obviously certified, right? He also presented, and you can see this post on his Twitter channel if you want to go check it out, Crypto Miner CHR. Bitmain is going to discontinue AMTC for the general public. That's the certification. So literally, they're realizing that the little guys are starting to take money from them in fixing machines, because here in the States, we now have little guys saying, I'm Bitmain certified. Just give me give me your things. And they just buy wholesale parts from Bitmain. Bitmain's not making money off wholesale parts. They make money off the retail stuff. The L7, the S19s. That's where they make their money. So he says, if you want to sign up for trading, better do it now. If you want to get a certificate. And so he's not wrong. Like, this is how cutthroat Bitmain is. Like, they're getting rid of the certificate process. And according to Austin, which he's a more credible source than if we were to pull it, the only way to get something more credible at this point would be to get it directly from Bitmain, because he has a relationship with them. He basically says it's only going to be open to VIP clients going forward for Bitmain certificates. So what does that mean? Right? That means the big guy. That means the guys that are paying for it. That means Marathon. That means Riot, that Foundry, things like that. They want more certified techs. They're going to be paying either Austin or Bitmain directly to train, right? The little guy's not going to get any more. That to show you how cutthroat Bitmain is. So if this script miner, right, starts to take money from them instead of developing another one, they're going to do something cutthroat. Let me rephrase that. While they're developing the next big script miner, they will do something cutthroat to make sure this doesn't see the light of day. That's my 2 cents, right? My opinion. I'm just some guy on the internet. I'm an idiot. I'm just saying what I'm seeing in a broader picture.
Yeah. And we're pulling this stuff up and we're looking at it because we have our own plans.
Yeah, exactly.
So this puts, this forces us to take a step back on opening up our own repair type of facility, and doing a subsidiary off of Coastal Crypto. So this is a big deal. This is the right to repair kind of scenario where, larger companies have definitely fought the rights to keep their stuff in-house. We see a lot of right to repair stuff in the news as of late. I know that there's a couple states here locally on the East Coast to me that have been, gone to Supreme Court legislation for right to repair when it comes to, say, your iPhone or your Apple product or whatever it may be. So it'll be interesting to see if they can actually push it through. I mean, they're not based here in the U.S., so they don't have to follow our laws and regulations. But right to repair is a big topic, especially in like the maker space, and coastal in cryptocurrency itself is kind of, in my opinion, in that maker space. You're getting machines, you're tinkering with machines, you're tearing them apart, you're playing with firmware, you're playing with fans, you're trying different graphics cards and different ASIC chips, and or making an S10 out of an S9. You're in that space, so having the right to get parts and the right to repair is going to be very narrow, I think, moving forward in time.
Yeah.
So
I'm
a little worried.
Gandalf says, so you're saying they won't come to my basement? Yeah, probably not.
Do you have cookies?
Yeah.
So, but I want to be I try to be optimistic and then hope that where one door closes, another one will open, and someone will figure out another resource for us. And I say us, I mean everybody that likes to take their miners apart and work on them and overclock them and undervolt them. Something will happen. It'll force somebody's hand to step up to the plate and make something more accessible for the general public.
Yeah. So. I have a lot of cookies. I've never cleared my cache. That's hilarious.
Nice. So, do you want to go?
Yeah, we're talking about equipment right now, right? So let's continue the trend of equipment. Get this last bullet point out. We got some little bit more cool stuff. I think this is cool, at least. Things that we're trying out with other creators. So I think John's going to be bringing it up here on the screen.
Working on it.
We're in the process of doing a collab with the veteran miner. If you guys have not seen any of his YouTube videos, go check him out. He's also on Twitter, the Veteran Miner. He is into for the lack of better saying, he's into PCIe cables. So he likes cables. So we sent him a Bitmain power supply, one of the more common power supplies that are out there for ASIC miners. And since we're in the ASIC game, I mean, obviously we do GPU mining too, but being in the ASIC game, there isn't something that's a little bit more custom, high end, things like that. And we're now talking about, the maker stuff just recently. This kind of leans into that, right? So we're looking for like a nice little modification that we can do to this power supply. And the way that Bitmain power supplies, like the APW3 plus minus plus whatever they keep adding stuff, the APW7, which is the predecessor to the APW3, the cables, these power supplies were built to basically take apart and fix as needed. So if there's something wrong, it's unscrewing something versus like having to really get in there. There are some pieces in there that you got to like resolder and things like that when you get into the real guts of the power supply. But in this case, we focus specifically on the wires, because on a Bitmain power supply, they give 18 gauge wires, PCIe cables, and they're all right. They do good, for the settings that Bitmain creates their machines for, right? So what we did is we asked the Veteran Miner, hey, I know that you like 16 gauge. That's mainly what you do. We want to see if we can get something in the works to where, something a little longer maybe, or even I'm going back and forth. We asked him to do something a little longer for the PSU that we gave him, but going forward, we might just do the same length as what Bitmain provides. One, we have put these on machines like the L5, and we have literally burnt wires because we're trying to mess with the settings and get a little bit more hash out of something within the specs of what these power supplies should do, right? So again, we asked them, can we, get something modified? And yeah, let's see if we can get this. So here's him testing it just to show. But these wires, they're all on eye hooks. So basically you can screw and unscrew and swap these out as like a neat little modification going forward. And so here it is. This video is testing it out for us. He has it connected to risers. Obviously, we're going to be connecting it to a ASIC miner as soon as we get it back from him. I know, right? All the different colors. Like some of them have lasers and things, scales going up and down. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, we felt that this is a little mod that would be neat. We're talking to him about maybe taking this to scale also. So we'll see about that. But we wanted to show you guys this, just a little fun project that we asked to Veteran Miner to kind of work on and see, what it would look like. We are going to first test this possibly on an E3 that we have. That's really what this was meant for when we first sent it to him. But we may actually put this onto, we have an L5 at the farm. So we'll see if works on that. I don't know. It's up to John and really what we test all this on, but we're definitely going to test it and try to, we'll try to, basically put it through the ringer, I guess, not max out the PSU, but we're going to test those wires.
Yeah.
Not to say that we might not burn them down, whatever, but we're going to test them out. So more products. So in our last stream, we talked about how we were going to start supporting library. So we got a couple machines. Here's a library box. We got it for less than a couple $100. Just it's used. Just a box miner. I do a lot of the little stuff near me at my house just because I'm kind of limited on the amount of power that I have to flow through. But we also did get a LBC light directly from Gold Shell, and so we just turned that on today, and yeah, we're supporting library. We've found a few different things on Odyssey that seem pretty cool. With I don't want to call it staking, but you lock your token into some of the content that you can create or someone else's content. Like we boosted up some of Soats on Odyssey. Nothing crazy, just with some of the tokens that we mined, but we put I don't want to call it stake, but we locked the tokens up because it's not staking. You don't get anything off of it. There's no reward for doing this. Other than visibility, like it boosts your visibility in Odyssey. So
what's the? I think they use like it's a weighted scale on what you do with the library. So instead of staking it, you're weighting a video. You're adding weight to a video to push it up the ranking. So instead of having views or using like YouTube's analytics or algorithm, you are the algorithm. If you have library token, you can weight a video, and the more weight a video has, the more it pushes it up that line for people that are looking for that type of content or that niche market. And you could add weight to any video you want, or don't add any weight at all. So it's just a way of you kind of helping creators and helping yourself. And we thought it was an interesting concept, so we've been picking up these miners, and we just plugged in this one at the farm. This side.
Yep.
It's on this side of me, but for you guys, it's over here. Yeah, I'm curious to see how this project moves forward, especially after everything that's happened with them.
Hey, Kim, since we're live, do you want to see if you can get into the miner and see if the back door works?
Sure. Give me 1 second. I'll let you talk about our other piece of equipment that we've been.
While you're doing that, just to give a curveball to John here, if you guys have library token, and I know that when you tip and do things like that on Odyssey, like you're tipping the creator. For those, especially that are in the chat right now, know our DMs are open, or at least mine is, when it comes to the companies in general. When it comes to just chatting with us and trying to find solutions for things, if you can, if you are willing to tip some of our content on Odyssey, send me a screenshot, send us a screenshot, and we can reimburse you for that. So I'm just going to put that out there. Since we're mining it, we might as well, because really everything that we mine, we're just going to turn around and inject to some, content creators, our own stuff on Odyssey, and just see kind of how that all plays out. Because we're over, other platforms like YouTube. So here it is. 1671 gigahash that we have right now.
Yep.
Cool.
3 boards. It's not a large machine. It's pretty compact. I know pictures don't really give you guys a reference of how big these things are, but in size comparison, it's close to the same size as an L1, smaller than an LT5, close to an LT or maybe an L5 miner. So it's right in that mid-tier range. It's not a big machine. They're fairly compact. Mark was mentioning the back door that these have some. Now, granted, not all gold shells have this. Only a few of them do. But at least I want to show you guys. Let's see together if we can get into it.
If we can, we can't. But I was curious because we haven't tried that yet.
Okay.
Since you just turned it on.
Before I pull that up, if you guys are ever having any issues with your miners with gold shell and they don't tell you this, because we just had to go through this with one of our customers that had previously purchased a machine from somebody else who was having issues but came to us for help. So if you have your IP address / pound sign and then / debug, it will pull up all of your logs for that machine. Your miner history, kernel logs, system logs, your ping settings, the memory configurations, what each memory chip is doing. You can see that some of these memory chips probably need to be cleared a little bit, even though it's a new machine, because they come kind of pre-packed from the factory. It'll show you the release on the machine, um, all the minor setups and scenarios, uh, minor system log, which will take forever to load. It'll go through. You can see like each individual board here. So if you're having an issue with something, or you were having with one particular board, you could come to this log and you could kind of skim through it and look for something that may be off. Just off the bat, looking here, because granted, this is when machine first turned on, but you can see some of these frequencies are very low. And as the machine warmed up, the frequencies evened out to this higher 180 to 120 hertz range. Different monitors and different kind of panels, and then we have the chip overlay as well. So if you are having issues with a particular board, or you're not seeing the proper hash rate that you should have, you can actually come in here and say, okay, on board 2, chip map 2, chip 22 is bad. So then you can go ahead, pull that board out, find chip 22 and replace it. So a lot of other companies don't give you access to this easily. You need to use diagnostic tools and USB drivers to plug into the actual control board to get this far.
You know what this pretty cool. You know what this looks like, right? This almost looks like a DOS version of Hive. Like you go into Hive GUI, this kind of like some of this information that's there is pretty similar.
Yep.
It is kind of weird that some of these chips have snowflakes on them, but I mean behind that. But so we've noticed this little feature is on a lot of Gold Shell products. So that's not just limited to like LBC miners. We were working with I think they had a handshake miner is where we were working and kind of troubleshooting this, but we have tried this on the little boxes that we have. It works. There are other machines, the X5s, this works in a few of them that we've tried out. So I would just, if you have a Gold Shell and you're having some issues with it, give it a shot and see if it pulls up. So I know that Gold Shell also is updating a lot of their firmware, especially for these new like CK Box 2 or whatever's coming out, the new versions of them. So that firmware, this may not work on some of those newer ones. We will lean on you guys to test that out if you get them to check that out.
All right. Okay. So taking a step back now that I gave you kind of that lowdown, this is what Mark was really talking about. The back door to changing the frequencies and the voltage on your Gold Shell machines. Now, this will work under hash mode or low power mode. I recommend doing it under hash mode. And this is what I've been telling people to do underneath hash mode, because you'll get a better result this way. We talked to, was it New England miner and hobbyist miner? This is how we recommended they get into the back door as well. So all we're going to do is we're going to rapidly click the miner text. That's it. It is so stupid, but it's so simple, but it gets overlooked a lot. So I think it's like 10 or 11 times or so. It'll usually pop up. It may not do it actually because I'm remoting into it, so the clicks don't translate correctly. So let me try here. No, doesn't look like I can do it remotely.
Well, dude, and this is a brand new machine, so it might have that new firmware on there. So we gotta figure that out. So we'll try to get in there and see if we can do some updating on the frequencies, because obviously this machine gets to 1.6, 1.8 on its own while it's hashing in hash rate mode. I think we can do better. So we'll try to figure that out.
Yeah, there's a way to get in there and change it, whether it's through the debug tab or through this way. There is a way to tune these machines. We know that. We just guess since it's a newer machine, the firmware's changed a little bit and we're having issues getting in there. But they didn't remove it; they just locked it. So it's just getting around that lock. But once we know for this machine we'll definitely relay the information to you guys. But this does work. We know it works on the LT5s. We know
We
it
have
works on a
video. Yeah,
number of the small boxes.
we have video of it, and your guys' feedback on Twitter clearly shows that it works on other miners. You guys have been going in there and clicking away.
X5.
Yeah, clicking away and responding, going, "Oh my god, that actually works. We really thought you were trolling us." It actually does work. All right, so let's. Oh, we got this funny. So the chips are so cold they have snowflakes. They're having condensation issues. Hopefully not. That condensation issue might actually be on the miner tab where we can't even get in.
Temperature's dropping here and dropping at the farm, so we'll be interested to see the next couple of days what the weather brings us. I know that some of you guys west of where we are, where the farm is, I know you guys are getting hammered with snow right now. I hope you guys are staying safe. So just stay warm and turn those machines on if you have them. Start putting them at your feet. Get that heat circulating. I brought some miners home for myself because I can't afford to keep the oil running. Too expensive. I'm in Virginia. It's typically doesn't get this cold that often, except for a couple of years in a row. You know what I'm saying? So I brought some miners home and turned on some of the bigger miners just to help heat my basement because my basement's freezing.
When we have them, you might as well, right?
Yep. Help offset that gas cost.
Negative 30 degrees with wind chill. No, thank you.
I'm all set. That's. I think we're like maybe -2 or 3 here with wind chill. It's not that bad. My kids who are born in Florida hate it, but definitely not -30.
Oh, so we showed that the LBC miner. We went into it. You want to go back to a little gem that we found? It's on there. It was the machine right above.
Discord.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So not that you can really tell the difference between these machines, but we found it is a gold shell, but they have I almost want to say it's like an aftermarket. I don't know 100%, but it's the
a farm
X6.
direct machine.
There you go. Yeah. So it's the X6, the predecessor to the X5. Another script miner. I'm not sure if you guys can tell that we are heavy in the script space. That's our bread and butter for our personal mine, or Coastal Crypto's business mine. I don't, whatever. Me and John, we mine script. That's what we do. So we're much wow, exactly. We are definitely keeping an eye on those hash blades, things like that, and just figuring out what is the next big thing. But so we found this guy. We found a supplier that has a good stash of them. They are used, but we are trying to get the cleaner ones, the ones that are functioning 100% to us. So this is something that we're entertaining and are also offering to our clients, our customers. This is a not newer machine. It is kind of new but old. It was the machine that led the way to the LT5s. This guy's really efficient. I think you can get up to 1.8, right, at like 2,000 watts or somewhere around there. We'd have to Google the specs again. We've already actually sold one. So once we get that, we're going to do some testing, make sure it's 100% and get it off to a client. But we are going to be doing some type of content to kind of show you guys, hey, look, here's a new one. John will do a short or something along those lines, just showing that this guy's real. So keep an eye out for that. Want to just kind of make a little side note for it.
Yeah. So if we're going to talk timeline and comparison, I know we do a lot of comparison between Gold Shell and Bitmain. We could start with it Bitmain and the L3 Plus / L3 Plus Plus, kind of in the same realm. Gold Shell came back and said, you know what, screw your L3 Plus Plus. We're going to give you the X5. And then Bitmain said, you know what, we're not going to go to retail with our next one. We're going to go L5 direct to farm. So the L5 from Bitmain didn't come out to the consumers. It went directly to a large farm facility. But Gold Shell, still being manufactured in the same location, said, you know what, we'll raise your L5 and give you an X5, an X6. And that was another direct to farm build from Gold Shell. So probably the same farm probably purchased the L5 and the X5s, sorry, X6s together, because they look very similar in size. The only difference that I'm seeing between the L5 and the X6 is the power supply. It's actually hard mounted to the X6. And that is, kind of leading up to, like Mark said, the LT5, the LT5 Pro, the LT6, and then Bitmain jumping straight from the L5 to the L7. So you can kind of see we have 3, 5, 7, and then we have Gold Shell kind of goes more in order. They have X5, X6, and then LT5, LT6. So the next one from Gold Shell will probably be like
some type of 7 version, I think, right?
Well, I don't know if they want to go
Speculating.
7 or if they'll go like
9. No, I don't know.
They'll go back to 5, but it'll be a different, like XX5 or XX6 or something like that.
Yeah.
So they'll go back to doing something. But it's just interesting how you can watch the two companies compete with each other, going back and forth, trying to give one customer or a group of customers what they're looking for.
Another example of how cutthroat Bitmain is, if anybody is paying attention right now, right? They're going after Gold Shell's lineup. Handshake miners, CK miners, Kadena miners, like Bitmain is going after these machines. So, they're in direct competition. So you're gonna have a third party come in. There's I can't.
You got Gold Shell and Bitmain, and maybe I wouldn't even say Innosilica at this point. I think Innosilica is kind of
when was the last time they even made a machine?
Right.
So
tell me, you got Gold Shell and Bitmain at the big boy table, and then you got these other guys at the little kids table trying to come up and picking at the scraps, if you will, trying to get whatever they can. But that if we have a third party coming out with something that can rival Bitmain or Gold Shell stuff, somebody else is, they definitely have something else in the works.
Yeah.
I mean, even WhatsMiner does a lot. WhatsMiner we've seen does a lot of direct to farm applications. They have a lot of stuff out there for consumers, sure, but there's a lot of stuff that goes directly past us, past the consumers, past the resellers, straight to the farms that nobody sees and nobody talks about. I mean, we've seen and heard rumors about WhatsMiner machines that puts S19 XPs to shame. Form factor and power consumption. If you guys haven't seen them yet, or if you haven't had a chance to touch an S19, I mean, the prices are coming down now, so it's a little bit easier. But these are big machines. They weigh 32 pounds a piece. They're not light. That's a small child. And then you have the WhatsMiner that, they're a little bit longer, but they're still in that square style extruded aluminum case where Bitmains are taller. So there's definitely some major competition going on behind the scenes with direct to farm sales that we haven't seen yet. And we're just starting to see stuff trickle out now with the L5, with the X6 and stuff like that. So hopefully we can get our hands on that, and we'll pass on the savings to you guys.
Again, if we actually already have the miner up on the website, we're listing it right now for I think I have it at 1980. So just hit us up. We can do some more direct pricing, especially for those that follow us. And then also we have the creators; they have their discount codes. So right now, 1980, just under 2000. Again, it's more efficient. It's as efficient as the LT5 for sure. Not as much mega hash, but it's in the same realm as like the L5. I think actually it's better than the L5 when you're looking at an efficiency standpoint.
Yes. Yeah, it's a step above.
Yeah.
Uh,
Which L5s right now, dude. I mean, they're going if you can find a good one, they're going for like 18 right now, and they only do like 1.4, and like the complete garbage ones are going for like 13, and they are just like I would not buy them. we can sell them, but we're not providing a warranty whatsoever on those garbage L5s that are like in the 13 range. Get ready for more ASICs. Yeah, dude. Just let us know.
yeah, and just make sure your electrician knows that you're turning them on and not turning them off. So the wires have to be able to withstand consistent load, not just you're flipping a switch for a 60 amp breaker. No, they need to be able to maintain that current and that heat
Yeah.
for an extended period of time.
If you're running
Because
30 amp breakers, 50 amp wire, things like that. So it's just that the wires need to be rated for continuous use.
yep, yeah,
we have wires this thick at the mine, like no joke. They're like 2.5. It just I can't it when we saw initially, like we only bought like 10 feet of one at one when we first started, and we were like, what the
well, 10 feet was almost 120, $150.
yeah, it was pretty
It's
expensive when we
12
did it.
$12 a foot.
You just think about that though. Like we're running this in a warehouse, so like we have room. You just somebody trying to do this at their house, like there's just no way.
But we were those we tried to do it in our house, in our garage, and upgraded to a small office, and then now a big warehouse, and hopefully something bigger soon.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
all right, well, let's get to the bread and butter, man. We got to keep talking about this.
keep it on.
Yep, keeping on. We got to continue bringing this up. For some reason, this when we talk about the token, when we separate the videos, they do a little better than when we're talking on a live stream. So that's cool. You just want to grab the website?
I'm working on it. You keep
okay.
talking.
All right. So we have some updates. The dev finally launched the website, which is awesome.
Beta.
So
it's up.
Yep. It's on its own. It's no longer on coastalcryptomining.com. The white paper is still there, so people can see the white paper. But beyond that, all functionality of the token is on the new website, which is ccmtoken.app. So here's our white paper, still on Coastal Crypto. Click to the official website. And again, this is ccmtoken.app. You can literally right here, if you want to, do you think we can walk them through trying to get some? Do we have like a Matic or two?
1 second. So before I jump into that, I just wanted to point out the web address up at the top for you guys. It is HTTPS secure, but it's going to redirect you to this IFPS site. And the reason it does that is our domain is domain forwarded to this address because we don't want this to be taken down. IFPS is a open source, right? Am I saying that correctly?
Open source, decentralized.
Right, open source, decentralized web server. So we're building it all on Web3 and open source, so it cannot be taken down moving forward. But we wanted to keep it simple for you guys. So ccm token.
Appreciate
app.
the compliment, Gandalf.
Goes
Website
right there.
is very clean for a beta. I'll be grabbing up some more after the stream. Boom.
So let me jump off the share screen here for a second. Let me pull up a fresh browser. I don't know if I have any Matic left. So Mark and I have talked about it before. We're not paying ourselves out any of the token. We don't have any. The only token that we have, we've been buying ourselves, and I am broke.
Well, I mean, just let me know. Just send
Let me
you
see.
some.
I have 0.26 Matic left in my account.
Oh, well, here.
Do you have my trust account?
I don't think I do.
Here, I'm going to post it in the comments here.
Send me some. I'm broke. I was just gonna send you one so we can do this, but you can't copy and paste from here though.
You're on an Apple machine, that's right.
No, I'm on Windows here, but can you put that in our Discord chat?
Yep.
And I can just copy and send it to you. Professional YouTubers here, guys. Doing things on the fly.
All right, so CCM token. My fingers are numb and I can't type or talk.
Next, confirm.
So we took we noticed you guys had made some suggestions. We've taken notice of the suggestions and we've let our developer know. So things will be changing a little bit, but one of the first changes is where it says add CCM token. That's not to buy. That's just to add it to your wallet. So you click on it. If your wallet was pulled up, mine's already added, so it's not going to add it again. But you would, view assets. You can see I already have a little bit of CCM token. So you'd hit add, and it would add the contract to your wallet. So that way, when you are ready to buy it, you just hit buy CCM token or scroll down, and you can see the available. It should show you your available balance, which mine is 5,600, and what the current rate is for the CCM token sale. We recommend buying it over the counter this way versus going to the exchanges yet, just because the exchanges have such low volume that it's going to probably hurt the project rather than help it at this point. But we do want to get as much CCM token out there for everybody. So we created this portal and this access for you guys to get it directly from us. The price isn't going to change. The price stays the same. 0.0007 Matic for, I think right now it's 142 CCM tokens.
Yeah.
So fairly simple. Mark is over there trying to send me Matic so I can show you guys how it works.
Yeah. So it's currently pending.
Of course it is.
Yeah, I don't put any of my wallets on this PC at all either. Oh yeah, the roadmaps work. Yeah, just show them the website, dude, while we're waiting.
Top secret. So as things develop and as things go through different betas and different testing, the format will change a little bit, but the overall plan for CCMT isn't going to change. This is the roadmap that we're currently working on and our developers working on. So kind of coming up, I mean, we're ending here Q4 2022 rather soon. So we have active pairs on QuickSwap. Those are active right now. We have USDT, Polygon, and USDC. Obviously, we partner with the dev. You guys have seen the tokenized site on the IPFS website. And we have been submitting and talking to CoinGecko to get everything underway with them. Q1 coming up real soon. Submit contracts for audit, which why we have this website up to submit forms for the audit, whether it be for Gecko or for any of the exchanges. You need to have an actual physical website, not a tab like we have on coastalcryptomining.com, but its own separate structure. I keep pointing over here, but you guys are over here. So that's why we had, it's beta, it's real simple, but we wanted to get something up and running so we can start submitting forms for these audits and for these bigger exchanges. So that's why this is all happening. Everything's happening for a reason. Bigger picture. I'm not going to go through the full roadmap. If you guys want to read more about it or have any questions or suggestions, please jump into the comments and let us know, whether it's on Discord, Twitter, Odyssey, YouTube, what you think and what direction you'd like to see the token move in. Gandalf asks, what is Order 66 when you kill the hosting game?
That's the goal. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
so me and John have been talking. Sorry, interrupting you, John.
No,
me and
go
John have been talking, and the more and more that we have other things at the mine in works, first off, we're probably not going to say anything for Order 66 until we actually, it's done. But, we're growing as a mine. And so you just got to put that in perspective that, like, as the mine grows, as much as we want to be there for the little guy, like, eventually we're going to be too big for that. And we're going to have to find a solution that brings the little guy in. And that's what this token is. The little guy is still going to be there. The big picture really is, mass, the masses, the easy adaptive ability, that's the big main picture, but the little guy's still going to be there because most of the masses, they are going to be the little guy. So this token is going to focus on that as we grow, because eventually we're going to be outpacing, right now we would be considered boutique, right? So we can help the little guy, and we can do like a mid-sized farm, and help and be really intertwined with that. As we're growing, something's got to give, unfortunately. And so, and that's just the harsh truth, I guess. And so the little guy, as much as we want to be there for him, we're going to be on, the big things. And that's coming sooner than we anticipated.
We will still be there to help.
Yes,
in terms
100%.
Of advice, in terms of these live streams and getting equipment. But what I think Mark is trying to allude to and get to, sorry to cut you off, Mark, hosting is where it's going to come down to. Hosting one machine, hosting 2, 3, 4 machines is going to become very difficult and cost us more, believe it or not, to host those smaller contracts than it will for us to set up larger contracts. Just in terms of not even electrical, but just maintenance and management of having 20 small guys with all their own separate accounts than one big guy with a couple hundred machines. It's a game about time and efficiency, and that's what we're looking at as we're growing the coastal crypto enterprise is efficiency and time and management. These are some of the bigger things that we're looking at, and unfortunately, that's, like Mark said, it's going to come to a head at some point, but we're trying to plan ahead and be proactive, if you will.
Yep. So if we can host a ton of little guys on CCM token, that's where we can still contribute to the little guy. And we can also be there because we're always going to be here for, questions. The DMs are always open. All of that other stuff. Eventually it might be someone else, but yeah, you guys are going to need a customer account rep soon. Bingo. Yeah. See, we're getting it. Bingo. So yeah, we're looking ahead, and we see the big picture, and it's unfortunate that Some things are going to have to give, but we're always going to be here regardless because we're here to help at the end of
Love
the
you
day.
guys.
Yep. At the end of the day, I always say, if you see any of our posts of any of the people that have interacted with us and gave us some type of compliment or just their experience with us, I always say the first thing, we are just here to help. So, and that's, that's going to continue to be. And as we get bigger and someone else takes over mine and John's reins of communication and things like that, they are going to be here to help. Like it's just that's the mindset of the mind going forward. So yeah, I mean, the goal of the token, and that doesn't really answer the initial question, which is what is Order 66? Top secret. We will release that information when we get to it. It seems like we're getting very good at being vague on things, but keep in mind, CCM token is here for the masses to get the little guys still to be in the game. Without having to expel a ton of money, similar to what it takes to scale a mine or be a hobbyist, things like that. And that kind of leans into what Order 66 might be. So just keep that long-winded answer.
So
Oh, dude, yeah. Thanks, Gandalf. Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you ask me, I had no intentions of YouTube really being a thing for the mine, other than us just showing what we're doing. John, he's a full-fledged YouTuber, wants to be the next big star. He wants to be the Voss coin without the coin part, or with the coin part, but not the Voss part. I don't know. However you want it. You know what I'm trying to say, not the scammer. And then I'll just come out and say it because we already did. Yeah,
well, we're not chills. We're not,
yeah, we're not shilling shit. If we're shilling shit, it's because we're doing it, right? Like we bought it. we did the things. So yeah, and that actually, you know what? Talking about shilling shit. So I've been mining personally Flux for a while on GPUs. Not trying to shill Flux, like if you mine Flux, cool. But I've been saving up for a while. Finally got enough for a Cumulus node, and so I'm gonna get a Cumulus. I bought. I really like the company Seed. Even though like Helium is a big sham, they've been probably the best product to deal with on Helium because me and John, we mine Helium. We'll be very transparent about that. And it, the project Helium itself is going, to it's really just going down the trash can. And some influencers could be to blame for that. It got overhyped in the bull market, and now it's the reality setting in. It's not a very good project. But in dealing with the companies and the products that they have, Seed is a good company. The manufacturer, I guess, right? They make a good product, and I got one of their Flux nodes coming in. So I can actually implement that, and I'll probably do some content with that.
Right on. So instead of me waiting for Matic to come over from Mark, since the network is taking forever, I'm just going to utilize what I have. So again, scrolling down to the bottom, it'll automatically do the conversion for you. I just put in 25 CCMT tokens, which is roughly 0.175 Matic, and all you got to do is hit buy. That's it.
Boom, and confirm.
Confirm. It's on the Polygon network. It's typically pretty fast. Doing it this way, the slippage is already built into it. You don't have to, finagle around with any of the quick swap stuff on version 2 versus version 3. We try to keep it as simple as we possibly could at the beginning. While people are trying to get in and trying to get involved into the project, if they want to get involved in the project, just trying to keep it simple. We figured this was an easiest way to keep it simple. There's only a limited amount of supply for what we're doing over the counter. So this over the counter sale will go away at some point in time. It's not a finite thing. It's not an infinite thing. It's only a way to get the project launched. So once it's sold out over the counter sales, then yes, you will have to go to the exchanges. But hopefully at that point in time, we'll be on more than just one exchange. We'll be on a few of them, and we'll have, fingers crossed, more than, let's say, 2,500 wallets. Who knows? So, but at least this way, if you're following the project and you're following along with us and you want to get in early, this is the simplest way to do it.
And keep in mind too, as we get more wallets on the actual chain, we still have that airdrop. As soon as we get to 100, we're dropping 100 to everybody, and that change is going to keep cycling through. So stack what you can. Build your bag. Tell your friends so we can all get a little bit more as we go through with these airdrops. And then the real utility. We expect that Q1, and that's going to be where everybody's going to be like, man, I really am glad we took part of those airdrops.
And the airdrop schedule will be up on the site here, hopefully shortly, as we update. And like Mark said, you get in early, you're going to get access to more airdrops. It's not a one and done type of scenario. We're doing it at 100, we're doing it at 250, 500, 750, 1,000, and so on. So if you were there from the very beginning, you're going to hit each one of those airdrops as the wallet numbers increase. We're going to continue to do it until, everybody's happy, or, the next project is launched and you guys say you're done with the airdrops, or we'll limit the it's still up for discussion, and we're letting you guys discuss it and let us know what you guys want. But at least we'll start the conversation.
Yeah. So. Heck yeah. Look at that. We did it. We did it, dude. We did it.
We did it. We did it on a whim, like everything else. So Gandalf wants to know, when are you guys going to have Dan on?
Dan Keller. I don't know if he would want to be on. I've been pretty. I've criticized him a little bit with his, Flux fixes this comments. So I don't know if he would want to be on, but I would be more than happy to have him on and ask him some of the tough questions. So I know Hobbyist recently had a beer with him, so it seems like he's a really chill guy. So yeah, let me work on that, and we'll see what we can do. Right now, we're at the end of the stream. We don't have really too much else to talk about. So if you guys have any additional questions, you want to shoot them in the box, let us know. Wait a few minutes, and then from there, we'll kind of just wind it down.
We have any like Jeopardy theme music?
Oh man, here's a funny one. Oh man, the John Coin channel. It's coming to a YouTube near you.
No. If that ever happens, I hope you guys call me out on it and refer back to the stream. You're selling out, John.
Think about it as investing in a mine that has growth potential and could help with your own mine. Yeah, but you're not going to own any of the mine. So it's you are technically you're yeah. So if you go back and watch some of the other videos that we have, it's the Chuck E. Cheese concept. You get tokens, you win tickets. It's similar to that. I don't want to go into too much more depth of it. The video really explains it. It's a video of actually, can you pull it up, John?
I just closed out of YouTube.
My bad. I think it's called More In Depth of CCM Token. And we go really in depth of exactly what this is meant to do. It's basically you'll own nothing and like it mentality. The CCM token is yours. You acquired it. It will earn you mining rewards from a particular machine that you allot your CCM token into, but you're not really you're investing in your own mine, if that makes sense. Like you're accumulating percentages of a machine that you necessarily can offload whenever you almost want to, minus the lockup periods. And as we grow that aspect of it, machines will turn into let me phrase it this way. A machine will turn into machines, into rows, into walls, into crates, into containers. So it'll just kind of snowball as we build it out.
Right. And snowballing it's all up to you guys. I mean, we're trying to make CCM token as not as autonomous as we possibly can, um, with little intervention from us moving forward, and hopefully even less in the future. So we're doing our best to make this accessible for, like Mark said, going back to the little guy, dropping $5,000 on an S19 2 years ago that's now worth 2,500. You're not going to have that problem with going the CCMT route. You know, you can invest in the S19 today with the same CCM token that you're going to use to lock up for the next S22 down the line. It's the same token, and you don't have that extra step of having to offload that S19 or worry about repair parts or all that bullshit. It's just taking those tokens and it's securing your spot in line for the latest and greatest machine, and you can jump every 90 days or every 60 days, however we structure it, depending on what you guys want. And we're just trying to eliminate some of that headache and some of that overhead cost that comes with mining on scale. We've seen it, and not the kind of, I know Mark's brought up the other video that we talked about, but just kind of bring up some of the key points. We saw a big decrease in prices with this current bear market. We were talking about S19s and L7s that went. We have guys in the farm who paid $25,000 a piece for their L7s, and now they're only worth 10. Ouch.
Yeah, that hurts.
That's an expense that people don't think about when they're buying equipment. They see, oh look, the KA3 does $73 a day. I want to buy as many of them as I can right now today. Wait a second, they haven't shipped yet. Now they're only doing $20 a day, and I still paid the same price. It's a constant back and forth and struggle right now, where everything is so new and so easily controlled by prices and price movement, that at least we can, by using CCMT, by rolling out this kind of platform, will allow you guys to get a taste of mining, get your feet wet, or completely dive head over heels into the deep end and just do CCMT farm all by yourself. It all depends on how much you want to go into it, but at least this way, you don't have to worry about the initial cost of the machine up front. You don't have to worry about having to offload it and get the latest and greatest machine to stay relevant. That's all built into the CCMT token price and platform moving forward. These are all things that we're discussing and trying to implement with our dev team going into the future of this token. And we're using it like Mark said, it's a placeholder. You're buying a spot in line so you don't have to wait and have to worry about the bear market or the bull market. You can just get in, get out, stay in for as long as you want, stay out for as long as you want, as long as you have those tokens. And we're still have machines turned on for people to invest it, or sorry, I gotta stop saying invest, to lock into. You guys are it's the project is completely up to you guys moving forward. It's always been and always will be controlled by you guys.
I don't know. One thing too, if you can tell, for those that watch as we're doing this live, and we put pieces of this into when we chop it up and drop other videos and what we're talking about, but these are thoughts that we've had conversations with, and we're trying to explain it to you. I don't know if you guys can see the passion that's in it, where the expression of the passion, and when we're explaining it, we're trying to explain it to a point of this isn't just a get in and get rich quick scheme, because that's not what mining is. And If you watch the evolution of the videos on us creating this token, we've already made some hiccups and we're trying to correct that, right? But the big picture is the utility. And so when that comes into place, it's going to be one of those things where everybody's going to be like, aha, I see it. I got it. And I hope that, we're trying to relay that information as much as we possibly can. And another way to look at it too, and is it's like cloud mining. For the exception of, we're going to show you the machine you're actually cloud mining from.
We're not a scam.
Yes, exactly. That's the thing. Like, there are companies that were like sold out to the max in the bear market or the bull market. Not going to name any names, but they were cloud mining, right? And they were just taking money from you for a certain contracted period of time. Or you're going on eBay and they're just taking money to do some cloud mining for you for a certain period of time for $20 or whatever. This is not that.
Right. And I think what's really funny, and we talked about this, I won't name their name, don't worry, Mark, but there's another company out there in our same space in the United States that saw our live stream, follows us on Twitter or some bullshit, and just took our idea and went, but they implemented it in their own way. It is different, but they didn't see the forest of the trees like we're trying to lay down for you guys, and they went right back. It's funny that they went right back to the whole cloud mining scheme behind it. They took some of the things that we were talking about, like showing you serial numbers, showing you the machines, and everything like that. The sliding scale bar. They took all that from our live stream because, no lie, we talked about it, and then a couple days later it was on their site.
Yeah, such bullshit. But I mean, hey, man,
but
more power to you, dude.
They're not using tokens. They're not decentralized. Nope. It's all embedded in their company. It is they're using USD. It's kind of like they're doing a subscription box for crypto mining, and we're trying to be a decentralized and autonomous blockchain network with hosting capabilities.
Yeah.
So they took it and they didn't spin it the way that we're trying to spin it. And I don't see them lasting too much longer in that realm, or they're going to, cut their nose off to spite their face and end up like a lot of these other cloud mining companies that have gone belly up because they just don't have the resources. You're only for us, we grow as CCM, the machine bank will grow as you guys dictate it to grow. We have no control over it. CCM token is its own separate thing. We're putting up our own capital up front. We're donating a S19 and an L1 to the token to start off with. But after that, it's going to be up to the community to tell us or tell CCM token which machine they want to turn on next. And it's going to be up to CCM token to show the potential of getting that machine for that part of the farm. It has nothing to do with, I know, Coastal Crypto, CCM token, I know similar names, but it's its own separate entity that it's going to be self-funding and self-reliant within the community. We have no say in, you guys want us to turn on an S19, and that's what CCM token community wants, or they want us to turn on an S9 or an L3, whatever it may be. It's completely up to the community. So,
yeah, honestly, if we had the contract ready, like we could probably do like a small machine, like an L3, if we wanted to immediately. So, contract should be ready, Q1 of next year. I'm really excited for that. Like John said, we're shooting for an S19 and an L1. We're trying to get, efficient. We feel that the L1 is efficient enough to keep the reins going, even with all this hash plate talk and the L7 doing its thing. We feel like the L1 can hold its weight as we implement this and as we grow it. So that'll be a good one. And then, it literally will figure out some voting protocols to keep it decentralized and in the loop. And everybody can tell us what you want to put in, and then at that point we're just gonna, okay, well, here it is, boom. Do you guys want a shelf of S19s? All right, well, the token needs to accumulate, and we got to get the word out so we can build that shelf of S19s, so on and so forth. So
Yep.
it'll be a fun journey, and those that are along with us, they'll have just as much fun trying to figure this out with us. So I like this, dude. Gandalf, you're fucking awesome, dude. Bro, I love the idea and the passion behind you guys all the way. I can tell you now, I won't buy any ASICs anywhere else just because of the unmatched customer service, bro. We're here to help, man. That's end of the, yeah. Don't, you're gonna, John's ego's gonna go out of the sky.
I'm gonna start crying.
Yeah. No, I
Mark
appreciate you, man.
handles, just so you guys kind of, Mark does phenomenal work yet making sure that machines, when you guys order the machines, Mark gets them shipped to get them sent to the farm. I inspect them and I ship them out. So it's definitely a joint effort. But being the shipping department and the inspection department all by myself, it means a lot knowing that you guys appreciate the customer service and the little extra details. And as things go on, you buy from us, where we're trying to implement little things like Gold Shell or Bitmain does, and throw some stickers in there and discount codes and special little goodies for random orders that show up. So just some of the things we're trying to do for fun and keep it entertaining.
Well, if there's no more questions, I think that we're good to go.
Cool. I think you're right. I think we're all set. Nice little live stream. Happy holidays, whatever holiday you celebrate during the winter season. Happy holidays. Appreciate you guys. Mark and I will still be around, whether you're on Discord or you're commenting on old videos here or on Odyssey. Mark is all over Twitter, more so than I am. We do see, all the accounts are shared between Mark and I, so we see all the conversations. So if you have a specific question for me on Twitter, just tag it John or Mark, and we'll try our best to answer whatever questions and help you guys out through the holiday season. Gandalf, don't burn down your house. Make sure your electrician takes good care of you. And if you need any help, let us know.
Right.
And take it easy, guys. Enjoy the holidays. Enjoy your family. Enjoy some time off if you get time off, and get some rest. And we'll see you, first of the year. Later.